Hello, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to successfully create relationships between tables. Here I have 4 tables which I have to create. Then thereafter I will show you the field name we have to identify and use them as primary keys. Then later on I will show you how to create relationship between these tables. Now I have this paper here and we are told to open our program, which is Microsoft Access, and I'm using Microsoft Access 2021. So to create a table, you simply go to create tab, then you click on table design. This is where you need to enter your field name and the data type. Make sure you enter the correct data type, but for me I have this one. Let me type this information given to enter into the table. I have debt ID, debt name, and already we also have size. So size, we come down here, field size, and you make sure you click on the data type, then you change the size that you required to enter. Now you click on the second one, then I will enter the required size, which is 50, and then thereafter we are told to enter a primary key on debt ID. That's where we are going to, either you can simply click here or you can right click, then you click on primary key. After you have done that, what you need to do is you need to save. Then you need to check on the name of the table, and here we have department. So we are going to save our tables department. That's the first table we have created. Now we go back again to create tab. Then here we move to table design, which is here. We shall click there. Then we enter the information given on the second table. You shall have to enter the field name and the correct data type, and we have some more information here which we need to pay attention to. So I will enter the field name like that. Then I will make sure that you give the right data type, like higher date. That's why we need to select the data type date stroke time. So if you are dealing with the data type, or you're dealing with Microsoft Access, knowing the data type is very important for you. So you make sure each field name is given the correct data type. So here we already given the sizes. We have 4 and 50, and I simply click on data type like that. Then you come down here, and then you correct with the required data type field size that you need to enter. So for my case here, I will just enter them like that. Then after finishing, I will have now to pick the field name which I will use as a primary key. Remember, the purpose of primary key is to uniquely identify records in a table. So similar or repeated information or records in a table will not work with the primary key. So I'm going for primary key on this field. Then I will save that table like this. Then I will enter the correct name of that particular table. If you haven't subscribed to this channel and you find this video very important, I ask that you consider subscribe to this channel if you find this video very important. For those who have subscribed to this channel, I want to thank you for the support that you have always given to me. Now I am on the last table, so let me take it some minutes and type. Remember, I'm working on a practical paper that is on Microsoft Access, which is usually set at Diploma Module 1, and if you're doing certificate level, it is usually set at Certificate Module 1. And as a student, you need to pay much attention to the fields which you need to identify for primary keys. And creating successful relationship in Microsoft Access is very, very important for you as a student. That will ensure that there is good working of data between your tables. So I'm doing this video, and the purpose of this video is to show you how successfully you can create a relationship between tables in Microsoft Access. So I'm about to finish. I'm getting some information from this table. Remember, with this paper, we already given the specification where we need to enter our primary key, the field name. We need to use our primary key. So I'm going to pick each one of them, then make sure I save with the correct data, the correct name of the table. Now I'm working the last one. The last one is employee projects, and we have some information here. We have field size, so for this table, we already picked a project ID from in previous tables, and employee ID, we already worked with them as primary key. So on this table, I'm going to consider working with work date. I'm going to pick work date as my primary key. It would not be well if I repeated with the same field name on this table. I've already worked with them in the previous table. Now here we are told to have primary key on project ID, employee ID, and on work date. And we have some information here on how we should link. Like we are told, we link to emp ID in employees table, and we link project ID in the project table. Now, as I've told you before, I will work with the work date here. I will pick it as a primary key. I will save this table, employees, project. That's the name of the table. I will save like that. Here now, I already successfully created these 4 tables. What I need to do here is, before you create a relationship or you link these tables, you need to make sure that you close all these tables. If they are empty, you make sure they are closed. So you close this table by clicking on this button here. There's a closing button here. You click like that. Let me close all of them so that they will not lock me whenever I'm trying to enforce data reference. Now, to create a relationship, you simply go to data tools. Then there is relationship here. You click there. If your tables are not being shown, you right click, then you show tables like this. But for this case, I have already those tables here. I will drag them to this side. I'm going to drag them like this. Then from here, I will start now picking this field name that I can be able to link to each from one table to another successfully. Now, for example, here I have, let me begin with the depth ID. and we have debt ID here. So debt ID with the primary key, we link it with another debt ID from another table, which is on employee table that has no primary key. So from there I have to enforce reference like this, then I create. You can know, if you notice, it is successfully created, it is linked, and then we have worked in here. But when you check on these other tables, we don't have another work date which you can. But if I check on project ID here, it has a primary key. I will link it with the other project ID from the other table which has no primary key, and these allow to enforce reference integrity. And I will click create button like that. Now there's another successful relationship created between employee project and projects. Now we have employee ID, and there is another emp ID, and if you notice, emp ID has a primary key and there's another one with no primary key from the other table. So I will link them like that, and I already have a successful created relationship between tables. So if you find this video very important, please consider subscribing. Until next time, bye bye.